chase. In Dynamite Collision on deck, we call every move, every hit, every check. If you want the truth, opinions, and fire, welcome to the winner's circle.
Hey. Welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us here for the Winner's Circle. We are here at a different time tonight. It is Sunday evening, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're here tonight on this time. We're trying this out. We're going to see if maybe this might work. 7 a.m. is a little early for me in the morning, so I'm trying to see about maybe talking Nika into pushing it to this time. But we'll see. For tonight, we're here tonight. We also have a little addition to the show. We're going to talk about AEW Grand Slam Collision from last night. Since it happened last night, it was a pretty eventful show, very solid show. The other change up for at least tonight's show, and maybe we'll take it on for the regular show in general, is I think we're going to, instead of just going through every single segment bit by bit, we're going to talk about what we thought were the most important segments of each show. The stuff that had the most impact and that really deserves being talked about. So cut down the time on some of it a little bit and help us get through the third show a little bit faster maybe, or to the third show a little bit faster and through the whole thing a little bit quicker. That being said, if you're new to Workhorse Wrestling Network YouTube channel, give us a subscribe, give us a follow on Twitch if you're with us on Twitch. If you're on the YouTube channel, you can hit that bell to be notified every time we put something up on YouTube. Hit that like button. Like I said, if you're with us on Twitch, give us a follow over there. We appreciate you wherever you join us. I think that's basically it for morning housekeeping. Oh, if you're with us, chime in the chat. Let us know anything you want to talk about as far as Collision, Dynamite, the last two Collisions and the last Dynamite, or any other Dynamites or Collisions, or anything AEW, anything wrestling related. Anika will even talk WWE with you if you chime in. So, all right, let's see. What did we have first? First, we had, going back, we had Collision from Saturday, the 7th of January. So 2 weeks ago, essentially. No, a week ago. I'm sorry. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Yes. Last Saturday, then Dynamite, and then this Saturday. Yeah. All right. So 2 weeks ago. Let's see. Let's see. The biggest thing was we had Tommaso Ciampa. Oh, we didn't even talk about this because we missed the 1 week where Ciampa became champion. Let's talk about Tommaso Ciampa coming into AEW and becoming TNT champion right away. What do you think about that, beating Mark Briscoe for the title? I know that's not the show we're talking about, but just real quick before we talk about Ciampa's first defense of that belt.
In the moment of Ciampa won the title, it was like, okay, we go cook some gas. Like sometimes people come in, we're very weary about what we're supposed to do with them, how hard. Like, nah, Ciampa. I was gonna say he's pushing for Ciampa's still in his 30s, but he looks old as hell. But he is a vet in the wrestling game, so it's like we don't need time for this. Let's go. Let's all. I think we all were agreeing. Oh, we doing this? Bet on him. Put a bet on him now. Do it now. Do it. And so it's like, yes, okay, yes. I was very like, okay. I love Mark Briscoe. But it's like Ciampa needs this more. Like we're gonna be here. Let's be here right now in this moment. So I was very happy that he won the belt.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'd have to see his age, but just looking at him, I mean, it looks like Ciampa's, has less days in front of him than behind him, and who knows how long his run is going to be in AEW. So, yeah, in theory, strike while the fire, while the iron is hot. He just left AEW or just left WWE. It's a big deal. Lots of people know him from WWE, and coming over here and having a big impact right away is a big deal. It shows that they that they recognize that he's a solid competitor from the gate, right? And that we all know who Tommaso Ciampa is. That being said, I like Mark Briscoe. I like Tommaso Ciampa better. So I don't really have a problem with any of this. I
Yeah,
thought it was fine that he was champion. So we did have his first defense of that title here against Roderick Strong and the CMLL heavyweight champion Claudio Castagnoli, which was a solid defense for him for his first match. I enjoyed it.
it was.
What do you think of the match?
Yeah. I loved it. Like, if you just want pure wrestling, these are the top two people that you should do it with, Claudio and Roderick. Like, yeah, like you really can't go if you're a wrestling purist or wrestling fan. You cannot go wrong with the combination. And it was fast paced. It was very like, and that's very hard to do with a triple threat. Now it's like, even though we would love like, hey, triple threat, but it's like it's not like triple threats happen at a fast pace and no, and it don't look clunky. This definitely looked perfect, basically darn near perfect. So, and it's like hindsight is 2020, but it is like, okay, you technically beat two people at one time, making your reign a lot, feel a whole lot more. What's the word? Important, more pristine. Like, oh, he actually that dude, and yeah, it was really good. It was really good. I loved
It
it.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very solid main event. I thought that, obviously all three guys can really wrestle. Um,
Hmm.
this is where wrestlers wrestle, and this is that kind of match that just exemplifies that, right? Like, um,
Yeah.
Champ is an extremely technical wrestler as well as a solid grappler and striker. Roderick Strong's an extremely technical wrestler, and in his own way, Claudio's a technical wrestler, even though he's much more striking and or whatever. He's in his own way. He's got some technical skill too. So, but a very solid match, great main event for that episode of Collision. Kyle Fletcher came down after the match and basically said that he wasn't done with the TNT title and that he wanted a shot at Champa, which I think is interesting just for several reasons. I kind of because I thought that we had seen Kyle Fletcher maybe move beyond the TNT title. At least that's kind of what I thought we were going. I mean, don't get me wrong, like gold is gold, and I get it. Like, you
Yeah.
want to be the greatest TNT champion. There's nothing wrong with that. It felt like the natural progression for him after
Yeah.
giving up the belt to Mark Briscoe was to move into the main event world title picture. And that obviously hasn't happened. He hasn't been booked that way because now he's been booked back into the TNT championship. So what do you think about that? And obviously, we'll talk about the match between Ciampa and Fletcher when we get there. But what do you think about Kyle Fletcher basically coming back to the TNT title?
Like you said, I think we're both in agreement of, yeah, they more so the feud between him and Mark Briscoe has been like, okay, it feels like we should all move past this, right? But it's like, and the feud involved the TNT title, so it's like, okay, yeah, it's about time. Um, the flip side of it is, with MJF being champion and with all the big competitors, I don't see a way to get to MJF versus Fletcher on a big stage right now. They do on Dynamite right now on the big stage. I don't see it happening, unfortunately. So I get the logistics of it. Of, okay, this is like, as of right now, this is our number two belt for the men. It is World Heavyweight Championship, TNT title, and tag team titles. It's like those are the top three belts for the men in AEW. So like you said, Elite is still a prominent importance, and like, again, we're choosing. We're gonna talk about it in the moment. Ciampa just came in. Him versus Ciampa. Oh, like that's a banger match. It's like, okay, now we're getting. It's like we're getting Ciampa to where he needs to be. Like I have the right. Like, this is definitely a prominent place, and hopefully next year we'll get into the main event. Hey, maybe the end of this year we'll get into the main event picture. But we're doing a great job in making sure, like, just in case you haven't seen you haven't seen him wrestle in his career. If you don't know about, just in case you've been living under a wrestling rock and you don't know who Ciampa is, you're getting a full fledged view of him this way. So for the Ciampa side of it, in the moment, okay, I'm good with all of these decisions.
Let's see. The other things that I thought were great, or that were important to mention, was that Statlander got beat up badly with the strap, which led to her basically telling Tekla, "Let's do a strap match on Dynamite the next Wednesday." So that's where, was it on Wednesday or was it Grand Slam? No, it was on Wednesday, right? Yeah, it was
It was
on
on
Wednesday.
Wednesday. It was on Wednesday.
It
Yeah.
was on Dynamite. It was on Dynamite.
Hmm.
So that was a big deal. I thought I'm excited for that. Like, I thought this was a good segment. I thought they did this in a good way. And we'll talk about the strap match when we get there. But I really enjoyed the strap match. So, um,
Yeah.
but no, I thought that this was a good little segment with them. And I know you're not the biggest fan of Tekla per se, but I think she's done a decent job as far as proving that she, you know, okay. Let's put it this way. I feel like from over the time that AEW has been in existence, and this is no disrespect to some of the women we have now, it feels like it might be its shallowest pool of talent at the moment. Like, there's some really good people here, but as far as the depth goes, it feels like there isn't like what there has been in the past, right? And
Yeah.
so, you know, there's only don't get me wrong, I like Statlander, and right now I don't have a problem with the job she's done as champion, right? She's had some good defeats over Tony Storm, over Mercedes Monet. I still was surprised when she became champion. I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
a little above just kind of where she fit for me, kind of just in the pecking order in general of women's wrestling. So, but I think it's because AEW women's wrestling is, I don't want to say down. I just think some of the talent that's been here in the past isn't here now. And so it feels like that gives an opportunity, obviously, which is good for other women to step up, right? And
Yeah.
she's been one of those that has stepped up. And in some of that void, Tekla's filled some of that void. And so I liked it. I thought this was solid. I mean, I enjoyed this. And the women getting to do more stuff. I don't want to say that's men oriented, but the more that we give women, the better women's wrestling will become. The more they're given the
Hmm.
opportunity to shine in the same way that the men are given, i.e., strap matches, extreme matches, anything that, you know what I mean? They're going to
Yeah.
be given the opportunity to show how good they are. And so I was excited for this. I thought this was fun.
Yeah. No, no. Like I said, definitely a nice build to the match on Wednesday. I'm not sure what I was expecting when they're like Statlander is going to tell Tegla the stipulation. Um, it's a good thing that's like it didn't pop me. Like I say, it's a good thing because
Yeah.
it's like these matches for women in AEW is very much so normal. We're just like, huh, this will be the first guy match. We haven't done this yet. Okay, that'll be cool. It's just like it is very much so like a normalcy with it, but I do like it. I will say, AEW, y'all really have a face for beating people with whips, though. I'm gonna just say it. I'm like, y'all really like doing this a lot. I think we need a come to Jesus moment of, okay, do we have a problem? Is this a fetish on both men and women's side? Like people with straps. Yeah, listen. As long as y'all know what it is, I was just checking in. We good? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I'm just pointing it out since no one else wants
That,
to.
that's funny. Let's see what else. In what I thought was a very weird kind of promo and spot for him, Hook apparently is the new boss of the ops while Joe is out. Like, I
You're
don't know.
not though.
I don't
You're
know.
not. And then, look, it's
Eh,
two things. Number one,
There's
it's
only,
just
there's
you
only
and
two of you.
Shabbat.
There's only two of you now. There's only two of you
And
now because Hobbs is gone. So you're the boss of you and
between
Shibata. It's really like Shibata's not listening to anything you say, but
like,
you
sir, we
know,
could have done so much better
like,
with this.
now to be fair, like I thought his talking is getting better, right? Like, or at least he's showing more of it. I'm not saying that his ability to speak has gotten better. He's speaking
Yeah.
better. He's feeling more comfortable. He seems more all those kinds of things. At the same time, I still feel like he carries himself with that air of I'm too good for this. Like I'm already better than needing to be doing this. And you're not. You haven't even proven you can do this yet, let alone too good for this. Like, and so I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening, but him being the boss in place for Samoa Joe left me a little cold. I definitely wasn't into that.
Like, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. fine. Yeah.
What else? Let's see. Oh, the Bucks advance, right? To they beat GOA in the opening match to move on to a number one contenders match on Dynamite for the tag team or to be the number one contender for the World Tag Team Championships against FTR.
Yeah.
And a solid match. I mean, the Bucks are the Bucks, right? I mean,
Yeah.
listen, it's hard when you have guys that are considered the great in anything to keep them from being around the picture and at the top of the main event catalog. And the Bucks are definitely in that class. It's still, and as much as they're exciting and all that, it still starts to feel a little resigned. You know how many times I've seen the Bucks versus FTR or the Buck. You know what I mean? It's like, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
it's fine. And so, I mean, I was hoping that the Gates of Agony were going to, advance here. I understand it's hard to have the Bucks lose because of the Bucks, all those things. But the Gates of Agony have been with Ricochet, and the demand is on the. I mean, they've definitely been, booked on the rise, right? I don't see why GOA can't get the win here, even if they have to cheat to get it. I mean, which would make sense. I think GOA should have got the win here.
Agree. It's just it really just gives the question of what do a person got to do to advance around here? More so in the tag division. The tag division is notoriously not does not do well with making new tag teams. No offense. We showcase people, it be alright for a couple of weeks, but then it all goes back to the top two or top three teams, and the comeback is sooner rather than later. I'm just saying. But fine, Young Bucks, y'all baby faces advance, yay. Yeah, but,
Last but not least for me, what do you think of the 8-man parking lot brawl? In the first, they comment and tell me if it was. I thought I heard this correctly. It's the first time in a parking lot that wasn't an AEW arena, like a Daly's place. Is
so
that right? They made some sort
I
of comment
think
about it being
that
something.
sounds about right. So the first one, and probably the best one as of today, is or Pride and Pride and Powerful versus Best Friend. They did the Best Friend. Oh, I miss those. That was probably the best one. That was during the panorama. That was definitely in Daly's place. The second one is like it's only been three. The second one was with between Best Friends and Death Riders. I want to say that was the same one too because Sue came in the car as well. I can double check real quick if you just give me a minute. But I think yeah, it's only been three. I want to say so. Yeah, this is probably the first time where it wasn't in Daly's place. And whatever special sprinkle of special that puts on the match, sure. I like no offense, unless you're like in Fast and Furious, like there's like a parking lot, a parking lot. I don't think where you put the parking lot at is any special unless you can see the special. It's like it's a parking lot.
No
Like
doubt,
I, I
100%.
appreciate. Like I appreciate you trying to put some specialty on it, but a parking lot's a parking lot. It's gravel, it's lines for parking, and it's street lights. It ain't nothing different.
Well, don't
Like
get me wrong,
unless
Eddie Kingston is my guy. I absolutely love Eddie Kingston. But he's that guy that like always charges in head first and then gets punched in the face and then has to back up. Like that's always like, you know what I mean? He's always like head in
yeah.
first and takes that nasty shot and then it's like, oh shit. Like, okay, let me back up and recoup. Like he always is just too aggressive in the very beginning. Now I thought this was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this. I'm glad Eddie and them got the win. We'll see if Eddie and Ortiz continue to have problems with GYV or what this ends up being. But for what this was, I thought this was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. This is one of those things where you get to see a lot of stuff that looks cool, but is never really going to happen, right? Like you swing the sledgehammer at the guy's head, he's going to move because it's going to hit the
Yeah.
glass window. The glass window breaking is cool and it's a cool little effect, but he's never going to hit the guy in the head with the sledgehammer, right? So it's like some of that stuff is a little kind of over the top because you already know that it's not going, but it still looks cool when the window breaks and those kind of things. So, um, I thought this was a solid collision. Um, I thought it had some good matches on it. I thought the main event was really good. Tommaso Ciampa
Hmm.
defending the belt, and obviously Eddie Kingston wrestling is always fun. Um, yeah, I mean, I thought overall it was a good. I mean, I'd say this was like a B minus Collision. I mean, C plus B minus. I'll give it a B minus. I thought it was right there somewhere. I mean,
Yeah, like I
nothing
said, like again, like
egregious, but nothing that I thought, oh, you absolutely have to go back and watch this. I mean, if you're a real wrestling fan, you can go back and watch Ciampa's defense because the wrestling is very solid. Beyond that, it's not like, oh, you have to watch this episode of Collision. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
so what do you think of the show overall, and what grade are you going to give this episode of Collision?
No, I totally agree with you. Now it sounds good because we condensed it, but there were some spots where just like, don't need that. But
Yeah, and if you want to talk about any of those spots, either anything that you liked that I missed, or any of the things that you felt might have been like slow
no,
the show down, whatever. I mean,
no. Those are definitely the highlights. The missed up, again, you had some basically some squash matches to hype up a match, which is like again fine. I think Collision is probably the best place for those matches, so it isn't like anything wrong with that, So it's like, okay, that's fine. We did what he did. Um, I think B minus seems fair. So yeah, we'll land on B minus.
B minus. All right. So we both got B minuses for that show. And then that would move us to, I'll switch this here. Dynamite from Wednesday. Oh, if I can get the right mouse. I have two mouses on my desk and I keep switching because one's for work and one's for this. And I keep grabbing the
Yeah.
wrong mouse. Let's see. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Dynamite. Oh, I can't even spell. Wednesday has an A at the end of day, not an S in day. Day is not spelled DSY.
Is
Forgive me for
that
that. I promise I know how to spell. I just can't type properly. So that is supposed to say Wednesday, January 11th. What were your high spots from? You usually lead the Dynamite review, so tell us
yeah?
your high spots
So
for Wednesday.
this is February. Yeah, February 11th.
Oh, it does
This
say
is
January. It
Dynamite.
should say 2/11. I messed it up all the way around. Let me
This
go
is
and fix that real quick because I'd
listen.
have butchered that all the way around.
It's
Uh,
Valentine's Day / President's Day weekend. So the past 4 days have been whatever. We gonna move past that. I'm bitter. Anyway, but this Wednesday Dynamite. This was a very good Dynamite. We're gonna talk about it later, but honestly, I like this more than
oh,
um
don't say it. No.
I did. More
No
so,
way.
I'm going to talk you into it. I'm going to talk you into it, but let's get it started. Okay, so highlights. The highlights we start. This was very wrestling heavy, which is always AEW's strength. It was a 6-man tag between the Death Riders and uh John Callis family, more so to hype up the match between Takeshita and Moxley. The first time we did this, it was all right. It was cool, but it was all right. And Takeshita's team, Callis won. This time, Death Riders got their look back. I loved when the Mark Davis and Claudio got into the ring. It was just like it wasn't a meat match, but it was definitely protein match. It was very I love that so much, and the interaction with the Takeshita and Moxley was very much so awesome. So I loved like this match was very much so really good, and this is what we were talking about this battle after the C2 after the classic. So as of right now is everything I think we thought it was going to be. Your thoughts on this match?
I mean, I thought this was solid. I mean, obviously both teams are the two premier, factions in AEW at the moment, and this had some of the better men from both of the factions. I enjoyed this a lot. I mean, you get like you said, you get to continue that feud inside this 8-man or the 6-man tag match with Moxley and Takeshita, which we'll talk about came to a head at Grand Slam, or at least whatever. We'll talk about their match at Grand Slam. So no, it was good building up to that. It's nice. I mean, I guess it's nice. I mean, we've talked about how to make two heel factions work, in a feud because they're essentially two heel factions feuding with each other. And this time the
Yeah.
Death Riders got the win. Last time the Callis family got the win. So I guess we're kind of 1-1 at the moment. Um, He's fine. I mean, Moxley getting the win on Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander taking the pin. I guess you're not going to have Moxley probably pinned to Ketchum at this moment because he's going to wrestle him in 4 days, and you want to kind of leave something there. So, I guess for all intents and
Yeah.
purposes, Josh Alexander taking the pin is fine. I'm still not sure I care for that, but someone has to take it if the Death Rider, the Callis family is going to lose. So, okay. I mean, the match was fun. Great way to open the show. Solid opening to Dynamite. I enjoyed it a lot.
All the things. And I said, so next match, we get Fletcher versus Ciampa. And listen, okay. I was not part of the we call it the root of NXT back and go like when it was on WWE network, I was not watching it. Not because I didn't want to, because I'm an old soul. If it's not on television, I'm not going to purposely look for it. I'm sorry, that was just me. I did get to telling it. I did get the tail end of it before the panorama, but yeah, Champa. Hi, sweetie. Welcome back, Psycho Killer. Man, no. If anything, this was so freaking good. It was so freaking fast paced. It was just I was like. So here, okay, I'm going to part two pages. I'm going to keep it short. So, like I said, I didn't catch Buck and Gold Champa, but I still caught Champa in NXT, which was still good. And then main roster Champa, it got ins and outs, but when he was paired with Gargano, the tag team last year, that was very much so fun. But Champa by himself, yeah. Even with your short little self, it's still like you are, yeah, like yes. And it's just like if you're a wrestling fan and you just want two freaking people just to go at it, it's Ciampa. It's and you can see and like in parts of the match, you can kind of tell that Ciampa's like, yeah, I miss this. It's like I said, I'm trying to think. Back last year, it was still high pace, but I don't think he really had the match where he was just basically beat someone up. Even with Ilya, it was fine, but it wasn't just like bat. Now, I think it's more so credit to Fletcher. Fletcher is the workhorse of AEW right now. Where it's like basically as of right now, since he's been with Don Callis and he cut his hair. I'm trying to think. All of his matches have been pretty solid. And as of right now, wrestling wise, you can't tell me a bad Fletcher match. Now, the flip side of that is this man likes to do a whole lot of finishers, kickouts. Now we can go back and forth with this, but how many kickouts to a finisher can we do? I don't know. Now, SP3 did kind of put some stank. I agree a little bit where the kickouts at the end were meaningful because I'll ask you before we knew who won. Who did you have winning this match?
Honestly, Champa, just because it didn't make sense to me why you do this like this, and I'll get to that
Yes.
when I talk about it. But yeah, I mean, I
Right.
had winning. I mean, I don't.
So yeah. And me too. I had him winning too, and he was like, yeah, you do the finisher kick out because it gives you it gets you invested of, oh snap, are they really going to switch titles? So to that credit, it did do its job. I was in my house and I was like, my sister was asleep. So I was slow screaming, no, what? I was doing that for the end of it. But yeah, 1, 2, 3. Fletcher beats Ciampa and is your 2-time TNT champion. Now, we're gonna go through the whole thing and we're gonna talk about all of it. After that, he was like, "This is my dream. I wanted to. What's the word? I wanted to go into Grantham, Australia, my hometown, as champion, and I'm going to do that. I will welcome all comers, anyone." And here comes Mark Briscoe, and Mark Briscoe's like, listen, game 7, let's do it one more time. And Fletcher's like, okay, fine, game 7, but it won't be any other match. It'll be a ladder match. And it's like, okay, fine. In my mind, okay. And this is where we get to the part of booking wise. Now, like I just said, unless you're under a wrestling rock, everyone should know who Ciampa is, right? I don't see why we couldn't do this match at Grand Slam Australia. I don't see why we changed the belt. I thought like yes, let's have a match in Australia. Yes, no one's disagreeing with that. But I think it would have been better if he won the belt in Grand Slam Australia, and it gives more credence to Champa title reign. Yeah, yeah. So everybody's like, well, this was the original plan. I don't give a crap. This was the original plan. Sometimes when the iron is hot, you screw the original plan. Now, I am not I'm not like what you call it irate about this decision, but it's like why couldn't we just do this match on Grand Slam Australia? That's just me. And it's one of the things. It's like I keep telling y'all, when people come from WWE to AEW, they are coming from an abusive relationship. So you gotta you got to cushion them. You gotta make sure they feel secure before we do anything. Now, granted, uh, what's the name? Mark Briscoe is Ciampa's boy. For anything, he probably suggested, "Hey, let move the belt real quick, and then we'll do the match." But it's like, when it's this good, I would prefer that this be at Grand Slam Australia because this was a great match. This is probably like, hopefully we'll all remember. We're in February, but hopefully we'll remember this at the end of the year for Best TV Match Award because it was that good, and I think it would have been more like I said, if we want, like, I'm not mad at the short title reign, right? But if it's gonna be a short title reign, let him lose it on a special TV show instead of just a Dynamite before the special TV show. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I talked a lot, but like I said, great match. Not not in love with the whole Game 7 feel of Grand Slam Australia, but great match. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine for what it is. I mean, I didn't necessarily have a problem with it being here on this show. If you're going to lose it, it doesn't really make much difference to me. The only reason that I say that is because, yeah, Grand Slam Australia is somewhat of a big deal. It's also Collision. And I know it's on a Saturday night when you do your pay-per-views and stuff. So because it's a special Collision, you can try and hype it up like that. And you had 4 title matches. So it's a very special Collision. It's still Collision, right? And there's still like, people are like, oh, it's only Collision. It's only Grand Slam Australia Collision. And so I don't know how many people actually tuned in extra because it was Grand Slam, but I mean, it was a solid show. I still think that a regular Dynamite on Wednesday night probably pulls in more people. So in that regards, this probably had a little more eyes on it. I could be wrong. I have to look at the numbers, but um, my biggest issue with it is just that, and I said this to my friend, and my buddy was like, "Well, you have to have one that does it." Is that I'm not big on hot potatoing titles. I just don't understand why you move them around so much. But my other friend was like, you have four or five, AEW men's titles, and then you have 3 Ring of Honor men's titles. Like, one, it's okay for one to bounce around a little bit, right? And the TNT title has been that one that's kind of bounced around more than others. And I guess it's
Yeah,
okay. At the same time, it just seems weird to put the belt on people for 1 or 2 matches. Like, Mark Briscoe only had it for like 2 matches, 3 matches. Ciampa had it for 1 match. It's just like, okay. And I don't get me wrong, Kyle Fletcher is a solid Kyle Fletcher is that guy, right? He's a solid wrestler. This
yes,
match
he
was
is.
amazing. I love this match. These two had great chemistry. I thought it came off really well. Um, I just am not a big fan of Champa losing it right away. I mean, it feels okay. What feels
Yeah,
weird to me is like Champa comes in, beats Briscoe. Then Fletcher beats Champa, but then Briscoe's going to beat Fletcher? Like, Champa beat Briscoe, Fletcher beats Champa, but now Briscoe's going to come back and beat Fletcher? Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, wait a second.
yeah,
So, and I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but it wouldn't surprise me if now all of a sudden Briscoe beats Fletcher either. Like, at this point, nothing would surprise me with this situation because of the
yeah.
way it's gone back and forth so much and bounced around so much. But again, it is what it is. I mean, the match itself was solid. Tommaso Ciampa is in AEW, which is extremely exciting because as a guy that doesn't watch WWE, I get to see him. As a guy that
Yeah.
believes that the best wrestling is happening in AEW right now in the wrestling world, it's great to see a guy that I think is one of the better wrestlers on the planet when he's given the opportunity to show what he can do to be in what I think is the best wrestling organization. So, the wrestling that promotes wrestling the most. So no, I'm
Mhm.
extremely excited about that. I want to see him wrestle all the guys all the guys that are there that are great wrestlers, and I'm excited for
All
that.
the
So
things. Yes.
I just think it's interesting booking. It feels like, and I don't have to understand it. I guess it is what it is. Tony Khan's not doing this for me per se, but I feel like it needs to make more sense, and I am not following the booking process mindset. So okay.
Yeah.
Hassan
Yeah.
says
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah. Hello,
What's up, Hassan?
Hassan.
He wants to know how
Yeah.
our Valentine's Day was. I know Anika doesn't really want to. She said we could just go ahead and move past that. Mine and my wife's was fine. We actually took our grandson out to dinner with us, so on our Valentine's Day dinner. So we had a nice time.
I
I hope
almost
you had a
cussed you
nice
out, Hassan.
Valentine's Day dinner. Hope you had a nice
Let's
Valentine's Day, Hassan.
let's just move past it. Okay.
Eh,
Dude
What
behind.
else?
I spent my dumb behind Valentine's Day. Like my dumb behind comes clean my freaking job or just behind freaking commercial movie. That's what the freak I did. Okay.
Uh,
All right. Sorry. Back to reality. Okay. All right. So next trying to do highlights. Real quick. It is a highlight. So old boy from New Japan that was in the War Dogs. What's his name? Cowboy
Connor,
hat. Uh
Clark Connor.
Connor, yes. So he did. I'm gonna say, tell me if I'm wrong. This is his first official match as AEW wrestler. Like I know we did a whole lot of crossovers because he was in New Japan, but he was now officially in AEW, and
I
yeah, he was tag teaming with what's called uh Daniel Garcia against. It was supposed to be OC and Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong walked out on OC. Boom! What the freak? And then this all happened in the same match. So like the bell has not ended. The bell did not ring in the match though. And then after that, Clark Connor got kidnapped by Darby, and I'm saying all in one thing. And so OC won. Like what the freak? And then Tony Storm came and did her whole beautiful Tony Storm speech about the whole hair versus hair match. And then Maria Shafir and Winter Yuta came out and they had old girl and mother's milk will get the submission. Mina Shirakawa, and she did call the Gold Girl's ponytail, and Tony Storm was like, what the freak? I did not think y'all were that stupid. Now, no offense. No offense. Um I'm very cool about this with her real hair. The crowd was all up in it, but I'm like, is that a weave or not? Cause I know offense. And I do like no. We're talking about doing Grand Slam, but it looked like a group bag. Or that's a very very big bun. That's just me. But they ate it all up. Highlight of all of this happening, like again, okay, I know Clark Connors is from New Japan. This is his first time here. So, but it's like, dang, it is his debut match. He's been out like, and he lost it. Basically in a handicap match. Granted, he got kidnapped, but still, Roger Strong walked out very early in the match, and then you still get beat by OC. What the freak? I do think it was a good build for the hair of his hair, but it was a lot happening in this match, and we could have done with one of these things not being together. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we could have done one of these things next week, but it was a lot happened. You want to chime in on any of this of any that happened?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot to unpack here, right? I mean, we see Clark Connors basically making his, I don't want to say AEW debut because we've seen him before a bunch of times, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think like you're right. I think making his AEW debut. It's kind of interesting. I guess Gabe Kidd was, kind of pseudo Bullet Club. I'm not Bullet Club, was kind of pseudo Death Riders, and now because Clark Connors is
Adjacent.
Bullet Club, and
Yeah.
he's Bullet Club or he's Death Rider adjacent, so he's wrestling with Daniel Garcia as his partner. I mean, if both those guys joined the Death Riders, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, I think that's probably the sweet spot for them, assuming that you want to keep that Death Riders faction going. Um,
Yeah.
if the goal is to have them still continue to go and be, the one of the bigger factions, they probably need a couple more guys if they want to continue to rival the amount of guys that Don Callis continues to recruit. So but yeah, I mean, Clark Connors is there. Yeah, and then you have the whole fallout, what is now the official fallout between Roderick Strong and the conglomeration slash OC, right? I mean, this is now, I mean, Roderick Strong walking away, there's no way that he's going to be welcomed back in any way
Yeah.
by the conglomeration at this
Yeah.
point. And I'm assuming now that this is going to lead to some sort of small feud between him and OC, right? I'm assuming that this is going to be because
Yeah.
OC can't just be like, oh, okay, forget it. I'll just forget that you walked away from me. You know what I mean? In the middle of our match, I'm assuming
Right.
he's going to have some words for Roderick Strong, and they'll end up having a match. So there's all that to unpack, and I'm here for Roderick Strong versus Orange Cassidy. I think that could be a lot of fun. Yeah, and then as we the stuff with Wheeler Yuta and Tony Storm and those guys. I mean, Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm together is a lot of fun at the moment. The dancing, all that stuff is, it pops me every
Yeah.
time they do it. Um, you know, Tony Storm works great with Orange Cassidy's kind of shtick. The two of them work very well together. I like Wheeler and Marina together to a certain extent. But, the mother's milk move is a little, I'm not sure I'm here for it. I mean, it feels a little weird to me just in general to suffocate
Yeah.
somebody with your boobs. But again, I mean, it is what it is. And I mean, this was fine. I mean, some of this felt like a vehicle really to just hype up the hair match, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, then bringing out Mina and cutting off a little bit of her a nice big patch of pink hair. I can't imagine that was her real hair, but you never know. People will do a lot of stuff for wrestling. I mean, look at what Wheeler Yuta did at AEW Grand Slam. We'll talk about that when we get there. But you know,
Yeah.
so, but no, all this worked. There was a lot going on, but with a lot of moving pieces, I thought it worked fine. And Tony Storm is always that chick, right? At any time, right now, the timeless Tony Storm on the mic, every time she grabs the mic, I can't wait. Like, I have to stop doing whatever I'm doing and pay attention because it's everything is perfect. Everything she does when she has the mic as timeless Tony Storm is just perfect. So, yeah, no, I thought this all worked out really well.
Yeah. All right. So next highlight, like I said, it was just very wrestling heavy, and I enjoyed every little bit of it. So this is the continuation. This is the finale of the This is the finale of the number one contendership tournament, so to speak, for the tag team titles. And so we had a wild card. We knew that was going to be the Rascals. We knew that the Young Bucks were in here, and out of nowhere, I was like, "God, is that Private Party?" And it's like, "Oh snap, they're actually here!" I listen, and it's like shot to be. I'm like, "Listen!" It's one of them things where it's just like, "Oh snap, y'all back!" Cause so it's been a whole year since we have seen Private Party, and that is insane. Especially when we we don't like you don't know like use your words, Nika. Say it out loud. What's the word? We didn't know what the status of them was, and usually wrestling news people would know this, but I guess we all assume they got cut, which is bad reporting and shame on y'all. We're not, but listen, we don't do reporting, but like it really is like, dang, no one knew what the freak happened with these guys, or no one cared. I get it. They weren't a prominent stake, but they were at one point in time. They were just a good time when they came out. But they came out and it was awesome. It was a little bit of a ring rust, but it was still a very fun. It was still a very fun match. This is the first time that the Rascals were on Dynamite, and they showed why they got signed. Surprise, surprise. But the winners of this match was the Young Bucks. Sure. I listen. I it we gotta do better. As an AEW tag team division, we just gotta do better. And yeah, like even though they it feels the rivalry between the Young Bucks and FTR, it feels long and short at the same time. Where it feels like, yeah, it's been a minute, but also didn't y'all just fight each other? I'm not sure how y'all accomplished that, but it feels like it's both feelings of it's been a minute, but then y'all just fight each other. And so they come out, so that they win, and here comes FTR, and they are very good on the mic. And I said, I'm not sure what happened where the King of AEW and their personality were going through, especially as heels. But Jack had the mic and said, "Well, Young Bucks, how does it feel that you had to make your own company to be the best while we just wrestled around the best?" Because he kicked the mat, and before Matt answered, "Well, I'll tell you how it feels." And so he does this twice until you almost like screw this, and Silver kicks the crap out of them. And so they're down. Mo- uh, Stokely Hathaway tries to get away with his wheelchair, but you're in a wheelchair. They stop him. They put the belt in his lap. They pump fake a kick. They didn't do it, they just pump fake to scare him, and they just walk away. So at Revolution, we're going to get FTR versus Jump Up again. Sure. Like I said, like especially when you have a returning team of Private Party. We haven't seen a year, and more so the Rascals. The Rascals are a new team, and I don't see a lot of I would love to see Wesley, aka ex something. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what his name is now. Is Xavier in there? Dame Desmond
Des-
Xavier.
Desmond Xavier. Desmond
Desmond
Xavier.
Xavier. I would love to see a couple of matches of him by himself, but if not, I think they're going to be more towards the tag team division. This is the time to hype him up. Like even, I don't need him to beat STR, but it would be nice to be like, hey, this is our next up and coming team, you know. But it's gonna be a good match, STR versus Jumpers. But it's like, come on, man, let's do something different. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I mean, I felt that way when the Bucks beat GOA on Collision, a few days earlier. It's
Yeah,
like I thought GOA should have advanced, and not that this match would have been any better with GOA in it, because the Bucks are amazing. They are what they are, and that's why
yeah,
they're here. But we've been there and done that. We had the best of seven series between these guys. We've seen them wrestle other matches besides that in groups with other guys. I mean, these guys have been circling each other forever, and it's just you have so many opportunities, like to either continue to reignite Private Party, or put a flame under the Rascals, which is like the new tag team that's big. I mean, you're giving them a promo spot on every episode of whatever show you're doing, whether it's Dynamite or Collision. They've been on both, since they've come. I mean, it's like they're now the big thing coming to AEW, and here you have them lose. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, neither of these teams have to be FTR, but at least they can beat the Bucks and move on and give FTR a new opponent. Like, I mean,
yeah,
and the reality is, like, even if now if the Bucks win, we just get the Bucks as champions again. So it's either going to be FTR or the Bucks as champion. And don't get me wrong, they're both great, but I don't really care. Like, I do, but I don't. Like, it takes some of the air out of the AEW tag team division and championships. I mean, these guys are solid wrestlers. They're great to watch, but we know how good they are. I'm ready for other people to have an opportunity to shine. And
yeah.
what I find really interesting is that I don't think the Bucks are those guys that are like behind the scenes, like, we have to win. Like, they never struck me as those kind of guys. So it's a surprise to me. Like,
No,
they always struck me as the kind of guys that want to put over other independent guys and young guys. So it seems weird to
yeah,
me that they would have them go over here. That being said, what can you expect from the best two tag teams on the planet? FTR versus the Bucks is going to be amazing. So okay. I mean, we'll watch it again and we'll enjoy it again. I just feel bad for Private Party and for whatchamacallit.
the
Why am I drawing a
Rascals,
blank on the other team?
the Rascals.
Yeah, the Rascals. I mean, so we'll see. More for Private Party. I think the Rascals are probably going to be fine. They'll push past this. They seem to have a lot of backing behind them. But this is Private Party's first, like you said, first time back in a year, and it was a decent showing. But it would have been nice if maybe they'd gotten the win. I mean, I don't know. So
Yeah,
I mean, they're former tag team champions, so it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility. I mean, so yeah,
yeah.
okay.
All right, and now for the main event. It was Statlander versus Tekla in a strap match for the Women's AEW World Championship. Uh,
Ooh.
Brian Danielson was in here as a commentator, and I love him as commentation. He is so good. He brought up that this was the same strap that was used between him and Ricky Starks.
Okay,
Yes, Ricky Starks was like,
hold on. Hold on. What is wrong with a? You just said, like, you made a comment about the strap and the dirt, dirt, dirt. So y'all are so that this is the same strap that Brian Danielson bled on? Like, you can't afford another strap? Like, come on, this is a $1 billion company. Y'all can't afford a new strap. Like, I got to use a strap that has dude's blood on it from a year ago, a year and a half. I get the nostalgia of it. It's great to have Daniel Bryan say, "Oh, that strap has my blood on it." I get it. At the same, that's really fucking disgusting. I'm sorry.
it yeah, yeah, no. When he said that, and it's just, and like he was trying to emote the danger, and oh, and like that's how much carnage will be left. Like even they try so hard to get the blood off of it, but it's not like so. You're like, so we're using a used strap that still has someone's DNA on it. Like it really do make you do like this now. No, that's cheap. I was gonna say maybe because you don't do a lot of strap matches, you don't need a new one. But no, you don't do a lot of strap matches, so you can buy another strap. Uh,
You can afford another strap, Tony Khan.
it really is like okay. Okay, okay. The women showed, but the women showed out in this match. It was very much so brutal. Like you said, I am not a Tekla fan, but like I said, last time they wrestled together in ring, I get it. In ring, I get it. And this match was no different. They brought the brutality, and like a couple of moments. Was like the first one was Tekla had the strap and she pulled Statlander to the still step, and she cracked her head a little bit. Go to commercial, come back. Statler is bleeding the crap. Just bleeding buckets from her face. You know, again, if you're gonna do a physical match, the blood is needed just to show how gory it is. Another highlight was on the top rope and Statlander. I hope I pray for her knees because sorry, Tekla, because Tekla did a suplex while she's still being caught her legs are still underneath the turnbuckle. I'm like, how did that not hurt your knees when you like at least like if you fall, your whole body like no, like that's a lot of weight of you going backwards to somebody and you're doing this. But then she rises up and then Sadler gets the strap, starts beating the crap out of her back. The match ends with Sisters of Sin coming in as distraction. They said Willow and Harley are already to Australia. That's why they weren't here to help Statlander. But with the distraction, Tekla gets a spear. 1, 2, 3. Tekla is our new AEW Women's World Champion. All right. Match wise, like I said, it was very great. It was very deserving. Like a whole lot of main events. It's like, how do like sometimes y'all be suckering the women of like, oh, well, we gave you the main event. You didn't come through. The main event definitely came through. The interference, I don't know. I mean, I guess we're trying to keep Statlander, what's the word, strong. So I'm not 100% mad about it, but it is like, like it's a strap match. I don't know. Tesla winning again. I have questions because okay, Grand Slam is not pay per view, right? It's not pay per view, but it is an important. It is important. It is an important show. It was 2 hours and 30 minutes. One of these Johns could have been on the show, either Ciampa versus Fletcher, but I get you want to do the whole historic rivalry thing, or this match. I get, and then we're gonna talk about Grand Slam. Here's a little preview. None of the freaking titles changed hands. So in my mind, it would have been nice to have one of these title changes on the show because we'll talk about it later. But nevertheless, Tekla winning. um, like I said, she's a good worker. Good. She's a good wrestler. But I am worried about where do we go from here with Tekla. Like, who does she face? I don't think they thought this through, and that is a very dangerous component of when you give someone a belt. Like I always like, no matter who it is, you should always have a plan. I don't know if they have a plan with Tekla. I'm here to see what happens, but I really am like, who is she gonna face now? Like honestly, there's no real baby face for her to face besides Statlander. Like, she's gonna do that rivalry. We're gonna do a best in seven with with Statlander, and we're gonna go at each other 6 more times until freaking Revolution. Oh God, they're gonna do that. Okay, I'm sorry. But here was fine. Um, uh, the end of it, I didn't. It's like it is what it is. The new team called the Battling Birds of Alex Windsor and uh Jamie Hayter came out to help Statlander. I don't like, you could have came out 5 minutes earlier when you had Sister Sin. I don't understand. It's like, this was so dumb. This was not needed. This was not needed. Even though I don't like Tekla, y'all could have just had her back as a champion. I'm not sure why you had these people come out for whatever reason. Like, it ain't like Sister Sins are tag champions. They ain't got nothing. I don't understand. It was dumb. It was not needed. But that was the end of Dynamite. What are your thoughts on the main event? And then we give your grade.
Solid. I mean, I thought the match itself was really, really good. You have kind of a weird dynamic with Tekla and the Triangle of Madness, because really Julia Hart and Sky Blue are really mid-tier wrestlers, and Tekla is
Yeah,
not. She's a main event star, so it's
she's
kind of this
not.
weird amalgamation of stuff. So I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening with the Sisters of Sin. Whether they end up beating the Babes of Wrath or whatever, at some point and becoming tag team champions. But it is a little odd at the moment. But that being said, I really, really like Tekla. I do think that Chris Statlander proved by beating Tony Storm and Mercedes Monet and having good matches with both of them, and in this match, beating Tekla previously, and then in this solid match tonight, that she probably deserves to be in the main event picture. I think she's worked herself up to that now.
Yeah,
A little bit, like I said, a little bit of that is because there is a little bit of a void in the AEW women's division. And you see that because Tekla doesn't have a whole lot of opponents after she wins, right? There's not a lot of faces to face her as a heel. You got the Tony Storm, you got Jamie Hayter. I don't know. They don't, I mean, Tony Storm and her don't really have much of an interaction, but her and Hayter have had some interaction. So that's probably going to happen, I would imagine. Whether, the way they're moving the titles at this point, though, we'll see how long Tekla even has the belt. I mean, even Statlander, who had what, 4 defeats or 4 defenses of it, or 3 or 4 defenses of it, only had 3 or 4. She
yeah,
only had it for what, 2 months, maybe 3 months. I mean, how long has she had it now? What was that? World's End that she won it? No, when did she win it? She won it full gear.
Statlander. Now she wanted a full gear, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, what was that? No, October or November, something like that. I mean,
it
she's had
was
it for like
definitely
4 months.
September, October. Yeah,
Yeah, so she's had it for 4 or 5 months. I mean, I guess that's decent. It just doesn't feel like she had it for very long. Maybe it's because she only had like 4 matches with it, but didn't feel very long.
yeah,
So we'll see what they do with this. But in a vacuum, I don't have any problem with Tekla being world champion. I thought this worked out perfect storyline wise. If you're a storyline person, this worked out the exact way it was supposed to. They foreshadowed that Harley and Willow were already in Australia. And so as a result, Statlander's all alone. Here come the Sisters of Sin in a strap match where it's no disqualification. Why would the heels not come out and help her win? I thought that was perfect. I don't like it because I'm not a big interference person, but this is perfect heel work, right? This is what they do.
yeah,
The good guys aren't here. Let's come out, take advantage of the no disqualification, get our girl the win. And then, yeah, I mean, brawling birds or whatever they're called coming out afterwards. I mean, I didn't think it was dumb. I thought it made some sense just because you don't have Willow and Harley around, and you're not just going to let Stat just get, destroyed again like you did last week on Collision when they whooped her. So, and I honestly think that the two big meat on the bone for Tekla as champion are Statlander and Hayter. So this brings Hayter back into Tekla's orbit a little bit, so that they can have that feud. So yeah, I mean, I thought this worked out really good. I enjoyed the main event. I thought this was a lot of fun. I'm glad the women got the main event. I thought both women showed out. Um, I feel like by saying that the women's division, has a little bit of void or is down a little, takes something away from them, and I don't want to take something away from them because they're solid. But
I
and I
get
don't
that.
mean that it's down. Like I think Tekla and now Statlander has proven that even if we had the Britt Bakers and the Thunder Rosas and all those back, that they'd still be in that picture because I think they've earned that now. But I just think you don't have as many of the high echelon wrestlers as you used to have. Those main event stars. So for the women's division. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I thought this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed Tekla getting the win here. I'm not necessarily all in on Chris Statlander, so I think she's proven that she can do it, and she looked good in this run. I'm just kind of so on her. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with Tekla in the belt. So. But I thought this was fun. And
Yeah.
as far as this episode of Dynamite, I enjoyed it. It was definitely better than Collision. I thought that it had or that the prior Collision. And I give that a B minus. I'll give this, I think, a B, B plus. Oh, let's give it a B. I think it's a solid B. It was a good show. I personally liked AEW Grand Slam better, so I already know I'm going to give that a hair higher grade, probably. I mean, unless you convince me somehow, but
Okay.
I it didn't, you know what? It didn't dawn on me. This is how good I thought Grand Slam was until you said it. It didn't really register that we have 4 title matches and no title changed hands. Like at the time watching it, it was like, oh, that guy won. Oh, but like the whole show, like replaying it and thinking about it, you're right. There was not one title match out of four, one title change out of 4 titles, which is very interesting. So hadn't really thought about that, and I think for me that's an indication of how good the show was because it didn't even really like register to me. Like, oh shit, we've had 4 champions retain. Like, because normally I'd be
Yeah.
frustrated with that, but it felt like it worked out in a way that I didn't have a problem with it. Um, so let's see. Yeah, I'm giving Dynamite a B. I'm giving Dynamite a B. What about you? What's your final grade for Dynamite?
I'm giving this a B plus. I'm giving this a B plus. Like I said, these matches were really good matches, and uh, it really hyped up Grand Slam as well. Where like this really is technically a go home show for Grand Slam, but these were very great matches. And the only thing egregious was just like you said, it was just like some booking decisions. We're just like, do we really need Young Bucks to win? Do we really need like Tekla? Are y'all gonna take care of her? Hopefully you will. But like and the only thing that was egregious or just weird was just the whole Roderick Strong OC match, where we was like that was a whole lot that happened in that match that you didn't really need. That's the only reason it wasn't an A. So I'm putting it as B plus.
Okay. Lastly, the last thing on there that I thought was important that we didn't talk about was, and it's important. We saw the first promo from Mr. Will Ospreay in a minute, and it sounds like he's coming back sooner than later. What I mean, are you happy?
Okay, so here's my thing. Here's my thing about the whole right. So y'all are trying to convince me that we don't know he's coming. We don't. It is so like we're hyping it. I don't know what like these videos of. Well, am I going to get better? I'm not sure. Would I be 100% with Osprey? I'm like, yes, you are. If we're doing a video, that means you're coming back and doing a match. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like it really is to be said. Okay. So you need to sell tickets, right? So it really is like, what do you do? Do you just surprise everybody he returns, or do you hype it up? I'm trying to think back, in the Attitude Era, and they're comparing this to Triple H's return back in 2002. And I don't really remember videos, but I do remember that we knew he was coming back, right? And so I don't know, right? I don't know how I feel about I'm not mad, but it really is like, come on, stop, I'll see you at Revolution. It's basically what my mind is like I'll see you at Revolution. You're not getting with this video, but they're done well. But there we go. I'm not sure. This is not hyping me anymore than if someone else comes at Revolution. And I'm hoping he does. That's just me. But what do you think about it?
I mean, listen, anytime that Will Ospreay is going to be back on my TV makes me extremely happy. I mean, I'm a huge
Yeah,
Will Ospreay fan, so just come back and do whatever. There's something to be said for the surprise pop, right? Oh shit, I didn't know he was coming back tonight.
right.
Here he is. Like,
Yeah,
I definitely like that. There's also something to be said for you have a superstar like Will Ospreay. You don't want him to be off TV, whether it's in a promo or in a match for too long, right?
yeah,
You don't want him, not that he's going to get cold because he's Will Ospreay, but you don't want the opportunity for him to get cold at all. Like, he is Will Ospreay. You want to keep him red hot, and even doing promos and the little hyped up promos. I understand, like, the whole, am I going to be the same Will Ospreay? You had a tough injury. Some guys don't ever come back the same from big tough injuries. I get that, so I can understand that. I like the more kind of confident, cocky Will Ospreay than I like kind of that introspective, brooding Will Ospreay. So in that regard,
yeah,
it's okay. But and I understand, like, it feels right because you did just have a big injury and you're not totally sure that you can be yourself, and you're coming back, but like, it, there's some kayfabe to it and there's some reality to it, right? Because the kayfabe part of it is, I want to hype people up, people, get them more interested, making whatever, whatever. So people, at the same time, in his own head as an athlete, when you have an injury like that, you're always thinking like, oh shit, I got, the first time I moved this way, the first time I moved that way, is it going to be okay? Is it going to happen again? You know what I mean? Like, so there is some real honest to God trepidation for athletes that come back from injury. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's some real kind of nerves going on inside of him. So, right. So, and we'll just see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it either way. I do like the surprise. I also like seeing Will's promos, and knowing that he's coming back sooner than later. I kind of like the update, right? Because it does remind you, oh shit, Will Ospreay is here and he's coming back. Like,
yeah,
because you do kind of start to forget when someone's gone for so long, and like, they're not even talking, they're not even, and you're not getting, like, it's not like Tony Khan is giving us weekly updates on Dynamite. Oh, Will Ospreay's injury is recovered. I mean, we're not, so it's like, oh, well,
yeah,
what the fuck happened to Will Ospreay? We know he's injured, but he just disappeared completely. Like, so it's kind of nice to see
yeah,
him back. But yeah, you do lose a little bit of that surprise pop. Like, oh my God, he's back for the first time in a year. We didn't even know he was coming. Like, there is something to be said for that. So I'm torn. I mean, I can see it either way.
yeah.
All right. So Grand Slam Collision. Uh, Grand Slam Collision in Australia. This was interesting. In an effort to make all shows, right, like Tony Khan says, feel equal, I think they did a really good job of putting this on Collision, and putting on Collision some really good matches. Like I said, it didn't really dawn on
Mm-hmm.
me that no titles changed hands until you said something. All four of the title matches I thought were, I mean, I thought they were all A matches. I didn't think any of them were less than an A match. I mean, I thought, Takeshita versus Moxley. You can argue, we can debate till we're blue in the face about the draw and whether we like it or not. I know Anika's not a big fan of the draw, but the reality is that when you have a timed match and you have two superstars like these guys, 20 minutes is a drop in the bucket, so it doesn't surprise me. And I like the concept of the fact that both of these guys are absolutely so good that 20 minutes isn't enough to get the job done. Now, if listen, the 60-minute draw for me, depending on how it's done, Danielson's done it a few times, Omega's done it a few times, and I think it's worked fine. The 60-minute draw is a lot. The 20-minute draw for me is a whole different animal because 20 minutes is so short, especially when you get two guys like a Moxley and a Takeshita and a match like this. I can see how it can go that far so easy. I thought it was over. Oh my God, that last second when there was like the guy was like 30 seconds left and Takeshita hit him with the knee in the back of the skull. I thought it was over for sure. And then Moxley kicked out. The kickouts at the end of the match, the last 5 minutes where they both kicked out of each other's like finishing moves and bulldog choke and all that, I thought was a little much. Like, Oh, you guys look a little overpowered. Like you guys have already been wrestling a lot for like 17 minutes, and you're still kicking out after one on a couple of these finishing moves. Like that's I get the
Yeah.
strong style concept. I get it, but that's a little much. But the draw I thought was fine, and I thought it came off as far as two guys having a draw. I thought this worked well. Every draw the AEW has done, in my opinion, has come out fine. I haven't had a problem with any of the AEW draws in general, so I didn't have a problem with this. What do you think of this?
Mm-hmm. All right, so this is what y'all keep trying to talk about. Oh, this is why John better than a DQ. This is what happened because at the end of the day, if y'all can't pick somebody to win the match, y'all either DQ or tie them a draw. Y'all think, oh, because no one interfered, oh, it's so pristine and it's a draw. It's that say y'all are fooling yourselves. It's the same doggone thing. You can't pick someone to win the match. I digress. You're my all of no. I got it. I'm the other side. I have trying to think. It's one of these jobs, probably in the C2, where I didn't have a problem with it. I'm still mad at the freaking Kenny versus Danielson match because oops, he ain't wrestling no more. So he the freaking so we didn't get a defensive winner between Kenny and Danielson. So boom. Sorry. Now to the match. This was a very good match.
Well, there is an
What?
okay
What?
because
What?
they're both
What?
equally as good.
Really? Oh, this is good. No, no. You don't want to pick a winner, and now I say Revolution is only a month away. You could have waited. You didn't have to do this at a freaking Grand Slam, a DQ, and a freaking what's the face? What called talent the draw is dangerously close. It's the same concept. You don't want to pick a winner, so you're doing so you're doing this finish now.
The only issue I really had with this was that I really wanted to catch her to get the win and have the belt. That was the only issue I really had with this.
Cause no offense, because now you're telling me that what's the face? We're not getting Takeshita versus Okada anytime soon. Either two things are happening. Either we're not going to finish this feud, or we're not finishing Okada versus Takeshita. One of these things got to be done next month. And honestly, I love Moxley. I do. This could have ended tonight, last night. We didn't have to do another round. Well, that's just me. Now, if y'all just didn't want him to lose the belt just yet, just say that. I kind of understand that just a little bit, but no, no, we gotta finish one of these jobs. Come on, bruh. Come on. But match wise, this was really, really good. Before the end, I thoroughly enjoyed this match. You can tell when Moxley is in, you can tell when Moxley's feeling it, where he's like, yeah, Moxley loves wrestling. And it's like when he gets an opponent that he can, it's the meat on the bones with it, or he finally gets someone that he's been chasing down for a minute. He's like, I'm pretty sure when Takeshi came in, he's like, oh, we're fighting. It's a matter of when and how. And so this was a very good. I enjoyed this match thoroughly, but yeah, y'all Google convince y'all whatever y'all want to. Time to draw until nobody wins.
Let's see what else. Women's Tag Team Championship. The Babes of Wrath defended against Mega Bad, Megan Bayne, and Penelope Ford. Always happy to see them retain. I mean, watching Harley continue to grow is fun. Willow with 2 belts is fun. I'm happy to see Willow 2 belts always. Um, I'm glad they got the win here. I'm kind of interested to see what happens. It looks like that Lena Cross, who's I guess a big deal in Australian wrestling, came out, another woman, and kind of sided with Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne. I she came out and like slammed. I forget who it was. She slammed. I want to say Harley Cameron or something, and then looked at Megan Bain, and it seemed like they were kind of whatever, and she kind of stood behind them. I'm not totally sure, but maybe they're getting a third person in their group. Um, the match itself was fun. I thought it looked good. Harley Cameron, like I said, continues to grow and looks good. Willow always looks good. I'm glad they got to win and they continue to be women's world champions or tag team champions. What do you think of this? Did you enjoy it?
Uh, you know, uh, okay. Um, use your words out your mouth. Uh, Match wise, I am very glad that the Basic Wrath won. It was some talk about since Willow is champ, drop it. She's TBS champion. Let her drop the title. Let her that. It's like nah. In my mind, we need to listen. The women's division needs work. And as of right now, I think we should focus on the tag team titles for the TBS championship. That's just me. So I did not want them to lose to Maya Bay. Like I said, they just got it right, and it's just like nah, not yet. In my opinion, not yet. So I'm very glad they won. Um, this new chick is a new chick. It's very hard to debut someone that okay for me, not a casual wrestling person, but not a deep diver. I'm not going to GCW. I'm not watching New Japan. Like that's just me. That's just me. So for me, who's not a deep diver wrestling fan, it is like who and like
Right.
you said, her how she debuted was very weird. And then like you see, in my mind, so the ending they had Penelope. So Penelope Ford got the pin, right? Penelope Ford got pinned for Billy Ross to win. And then at the end, when New Girl came and Penelope was in the middle, I thought that this is what I thought. I thought that Bane was gonna level Penelope
No, no,
Ford and
Penelope.
allow her to this new chick. That's what I thought. But I guess Penelope Ford is like help. Yay. And I'm like, okay, yay. Who is you? It really
Yeah,
is like,
it looked like Lena and Megan were facing off for a minute, and then Penelope came over and was like, "Oh, both of you guys, let's do this together." Like it almost looked like we were gonna have Megan and Lena for a second, and then
yeah, and
Penelope
so
was
it
kind of like that
really,
was the one that kind of settled them down for a second. Is
yeah, and
yeah,
so like so to that it really is like, sure, okay, new chick, sure. I think we need. I definitely need a backstory on her. I'm not mad. Uh, it's just sure. All right, cool, sure.
sure. Let's see. Hank, okay. So the heart and soul of AEW, the man that can't hold on to his title, the man that's been champion 3 times and his runs have all equaled less than any of the other champions combined, I think. Or not combined, but like less time than any of the other champions. All his runs combined are less than any of the time of any other one champion's one run. Uh,
Yeah.
gets the win to become the #1 contender with the shot at Maxwell Jacob Friedman at Revolution. Hangman Page defeated Andrade El Idolo in what was an amazing match. I mean, the match itself was incredible, right? I mean, both guys can really wrestle. Andrade, I think, proved why he's in this spot. I think he deserves to be a main event wrestler. He should be competing for the title. He's an extremely talented guy. I don't know why Andrade doesn't get the win here. I don't need to see. This is another situation where, like, I feel the same way like I did about the Bucks getting the win over Private Party and whatchamacallit, the
Yeah.
Rascals, right? It's that same feeling.
Yeah.
It's like we know how good Hangman is, right? Hangman's been here. We've
Yeah.
done that. We know that. And we also know how good Andrade is, but he hasn't been there. He hasn't had those opportunities. Like, this is a chance to give somebody else an
Yeah.
opportunity instead of have Hangman do what he always does, which is probably win the title again and have it for a week and then lose it. You know what I mean? I don't, and I said
Yes.
to my friend who's a diehard wrestling fan, I said, I get so tired of this stuff with Hangman Page. It's like, and he was like, Alan, you're forgetting the whole point of wrestling is it's the joy of the good guy in the chase versus all the bad guys and the constant chase. And for me, I don't like that. Like, I don't like that premise. And he was like, well, I guess you don't like the premise of wrestling then. And I was like, I guess I don't, because I get tired of that premise and that idea. It wears on me. Like, the good guy doesn't always have to, and I'm not a good guy fan most of the time. Like I tend to side with heels a lot more often than the good guys. But it's like it doesn't feel like the good guy always has to just be the underdog. You know, I mean, he doesn't always have to be that way. And Hangman is just perpetually the underdog. It's always that way. And so I feel like we know what we get with him. And I was just really hoping Andrade was going to get the win here. Nothing against Hangman Page. I just wanted to see Andrade versus MJF. I wanted to see something a little different. I wanted to see, yeah, something different. So again, Hangman versus MJF at Revolution is going to be fun and amazing. Both guys can wrestle. It's going to be solid. There's nothing, I don't have anything against it. I just wanted Andrade to get the spot.
No, we're in alignment with this because yeah, versus point, like, case in point, great match, great match. Andrade coming back has been on fire. I was like, just in case you didn't know, this is why he was one of the most a good prospect when he first came, like for out of Lucha Underground, and people wanted him. So like, this is written right. Yeah, like, okay, so one moment here. So like you said, I was like more so in the vein of you let Andrade beat Swerve and Kenny Omega, but he is beat by Hangman. Like right there, it's just like what? He beat Swerve and Kenny Omega. Like no offense, but Swerve, it's debatable who's better, Swerve or Hangman. But I'm pretty sure we can all agree Kenny Omega is better than both of them. We can all agree on that. That should not be for debate. So it is like he beat Kenny Omega, but yeah. Now I'm not sure what my mind was. I knew this was going to. I know the match was to face MJF. I didn't know it was to face MJF at Revolution. A Revolution is your top pay per view, so it is. It would. I will say it would take some work to hype up Andrade versus MJF. So I do. So I get it a little bit, but again, it's like you said, he beat Kenny Omega though, so it really is like if it wasn't for the Revolution championship match, I would have been like, give it to Andrade. But again, it's like, I don't know. That's okay. I hope that after this, we do something with Andrade. I'm not sure what, but Andrade should not be like, yeah, I don't want him going for the TNT championship right now. It really is like I want him still in the top title picture right now because you put him there. Because you put him there. But like you said, it's for Revolution, so I get why they chose Hangman. But like we could have gotten here a different way, in my opinion. I guess I really wish they would have like if this was like a match for Dynamite versus MJF. Like yeah, like lower the stakes. Whoever gets this gets to defend. You get to beat MJF at Dynamite. But it's like I'm with you. I wish Andrade would have won, but it was a great.
Pretty solid match. Wheeler
Yeah.
Yuta gets his head shaved. I thought when they shaved just the top and he had all the long hair on the side and the
What?
horseshoe, they should have left it like that. I was dying. It looked hysterical.
No,
He should just come out with his hair like
no,
that. I thought that was hysterical. Needless to say,
no.
that does mean that Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy did get the win over Marina
Yeah,
Shafir and Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler got his head shaved. Part of me I knew it was going to be Wheeler, right? Part of me kind of wanted to see Marina get her head shaved, but I knew it was going to be Wheeler just because I thought it would be funny to see,
yeah,
whatever. Um, but we knew it was going to be Wheeler. Wheeler needed his head shaved, like his hair has become
yeah.
a focal point of the storyline, so didn't surprise me. I knew it was going to happen. This was fun though. For me, I thought Marina's growing. I'm going to say that. I thought she
Yeah,
looked decent in this spot with this match. She looks better in tag team matches than she does in singles matches. I thought she looked
definitely.
good here in her interactions with Tony Storm. There were a couple interactions where she spoke to her in the middle of the match, like she said things. The words are evading me at the moment, but at the time it popped me. I was like, oh, I like that. Like Marina was kind of talking to her, and I was like, oh, this is
Oh,
kind of
oh,
cool.
oh,
Like,
oh, oh. So it was two highlights. It was one highlight where she had OC in a submission, and and Tony Storm had Yuta in a chicken wing, and she was like, "Don't tap, Yuta, don't tap." Even though I didn't know the premise of who gets pinned is the one who get. I thought whoever team got pinned, you both get cut. So but it did get a little bit like it was one time where it was OC. He hit yeah, he hit Marina with a beach break, and you didn't stop. And I'm like, why you stopping? Oh shoot, he was gonna
You should
sacrifice
have gotten
Marina
her
to
head
save his
shaved,
ass.
right? Like, why'd you
Like,
stop
that
her
was
getting
hilarious.
shit? Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the fight you're talking about was it was her versus Tony Storm, and I think they were doing chest chops, and she said, "I need you to do better," and I
Need you to do better. That
did.
was yeah. And
Yeah,
like that's the Marina Shafir I need. Like that
yes,
personality pops me. Like that's the Marina Shafir I need to see more of. Like I liked that. Like I was like, oh, here we go. Like I mean, she didn't necessarily follow it up with the greatest moves, but just that attitude and that kind of a little bit more personality come out. So I enjoyed that. Yeah, and the spot where Cassidy and Tony Storm are dancing, and she keeps hitting Marina with the back fist every time she spins. Like that was hysterical.
yeah,
She hit her with three back fists in a row. I laughed. I popped on that. I thought this was fun. I mean, I'm not the biggest comedy and wrestling fan. People know how I feel about Orange Cassidy. For some reason, this Orange Cassidy Tony Storm shtick really is doing it for me. Like it makes me laugh. It pops me every time it happens. It just for some reason I find it fun and enjoyable. I don't know. I'm not having the same like critical response I have a lot of the comedy stuff that goes on in wrestling. This for me is perfect. So I enjoyed all of this. I'm glad that they got the win. I think it's perfect for Wheeler to shave his head. Gonna give him a different look. We'll see what he comes out looking like ultimately next time we see him. But yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun. The only thing that might have made it funner was seeing Marina Shafir get her head shaved. But I didn't realize either. I thought, whoever took the pin, the team, either both of them had to get their head shaved or whatever. I didn't realize whoever took the pin
yeah,
got their head shaved. So, it is what it is. Wheeler, was going to lost some hair. And it's fun. It's
right.
been a while since we've had a hair. It feels like it's been a while since I've seen a match for hair, and I always liked those. They did that a lot in WWE back in the day, especially like with Brutus and Barber Beefcake and stuff. That was like, so I mean, it's fun to see
Yeah,
those things kind of come back around every once in a while. So I enjoyed it.
yeah. Yeah, no. Definitely agree. I love the ending where it feels like we're making Moxley a baby face because you was like enough of this, and Mike was like, nah, like listen, like it feels like he was like, y'all didn't console me when y'all made this match. You lost, now go get your head shaved. Just like he's like, fine. And like the whole, and then you can tell that him and OC are friends backstage because while OC was like the banter was hilarious, where he was like, "I'm sorry to do this to you," and he goes, "No, you're not." It's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not." And that was just hilarious. Like, come on, like, fine, just do it. And I said, and then they gave Mina the first clip, and it was just like that was fine. So like, it was fun. Like you said, we definitely. I don't. Just for the impact to be the impact. I say for a week, just 1 week, we let Yuta stay as bald as Asian Hulk Hogan. For a week, let him rock that hairstyle. Just for 1 week. I don't want no comparison, but just the dramaticness of the hairstyle. Do that for a week and then let him get his head cut. But just for a week.
Put my
Just for
finger
a
on how to
week.
describe it, but the Asian Hulk Hogan is awesome. That's the best way to describe that. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. He needs to rock it for a long time, but no, yeah, at least a week. Yeah, give us what we want for at least a week. Let's see what else. Omega and Swerve on Dynamite. That should be fun. They announced that. I'm here for that. I mean, I don't know how you get much better than that kind of a match as far as booking matches in AEW at the moment. I mean,
On
if you're placing people, if you're placing people in the hierarchy of AEW, Swerve and Omega are at the very tip top one, two, three, four, somewhere right there, all in that top five, right? So to have two of the
yeah.
top five wrestle on Dynamite, I don't know how you can argue with that in any way, shape, or form. And Kenny Omega versus Swerve is going to be amazing. Anything you want to say about that?
On free TV. it's crazy because like I said this is when it comes in. So we had a draw between Moxley and Takeshita. Do we do another draw? It's like it's so close together. It's like this is what happened. Now you got now like, yes me no you can't do them just back to back. But this is it is Omega versus Swerve. But I don't know who wins. But it is going to be a great match.
This is one of those where, like, you have two guys that for me, it's like, it's so hard to book them to lose where it makes sense and it's realistic enough to where you can believe it because they're both so amazing. So, like, putting them in a match together, you kind of back yourself into a corner. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a match people want to see. It's a match you have to have because it's two great guys. You got to have it. But it's like, how do you actually book this in a way for one of them to lose? And like, is it clean? Does that imply that one is actually better than the other? I don't think you want to make that implication because you want to keep them, you want everyone to think that they're equal, right? I mean, you're both right here. So it's like, you don't want to, so yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those, I don't know how you do that in the back. Who you decide goes over and all that stuff. Right now, for me, it's 50-50 between those two who's going to get the win. I have no idea. I mean, it could go either
None
way, which makes it
whatsoever.
very exciting. I like that feeling of unpredictability, right? So
Yes.
let's see. The best match of the night for me, AEW Australia Grand Slam, Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe for the TNT title in the ladder match. I mean, they pulled out all the stops as they always do. I'm firmly convinced after watching this, my very favorite, if it's not just a regular traditional, one-on-one catch as catch can between technical wrestlers, Zack Sabre Jr. and a Daniel Bryan or something like that. My next favorite match is always a ladder match. There's something about ladder matches that just
Yeah.
they're so insane. That spot where he hit the Jade Driller on Kyle on the ladder was insane.
Yeah.
That brainbuster, the Kyle brainbuster off the top of the ladder almost all the way down on Mark Briscoe was insane. There were so many spots in this, I can't even mention them all, but the match itself was incredible. This has to already be on the list for, either a collision match of the year or a television match of the year, on an early short list. So I enjoyed all this. The only question that I had is just not why Kyle Fletcher wins, but just kind of how Kyle Fletcher won. This match had a lot of
It was
additional,
very
at the very end, a lot of kickouts. Like there were spots where Kyle Fletcher should have
yeah.
been dead and he kicked out. There was a spot where Mark Briscoe should have been dead and he kicked out. It's like I understand that it adds to the mythos and makes these guys seem larger than life that they can take all this and still kick out. And Kyle's so intense and there's so much adrenaline that he kicks. It's somewhat, these spots are supposed to be insanely intense and look that way, and they do. They should be taking more out of the guys. They shouldn't have that ability to catch that second wind after being drilled into a ladder, like being brain
Mhm.
busted off the top. You shouldn't then kick out at one. So in that regard, I thought at the end was a little whatever, but the way it came off was fine. Kyle getting the win, I guess, is okay. I mean, I don't have a problem with Kyle Fletcher being TNT champion, other than I think he's already moved beyond that. I think he's ready for the next level. That being said, I don't have a problem with him being TNT champion. It just is interesting to me with the way that they've hot potatoed the belt. I almost thought Mark Briscoe might get the win here, because he didn't have what I would call a great run with it or a long time run with it. I thought maybe he might get it back here and have it for a minute again. Clearly not. Kyle Fletcher won, and yeah, solid match. What do you think of all of this?
Definitely agree with you on the match. It was definitely a great match. Listen, I'm not sure we need to talk to Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher is the number one offender when it comes to finisher kickouts. Where if you go down, it's like, sir, I need this one time where someone does a finisher on you and you don't get back up. Like it really is like, sir, I need you to limit how many times you kick out of a finisher. Please and thank you. Especially a J driller onto a freaking ladder. That feels like that should be the end of the match. And then for me personally, it was kind of anticlimactic at the end where he just shoved them. He just shoved. After all that happens, You just shoved Mark Briscoe off the ladder. It wasn't even off the top of the ladder. He was climbing. He just shoved it down, and now Mark can't. After all that, oh now Mark can't get up. Or it's just like that was just hilarious to me. But great match. I thought it's Australia. Um, I didn't think I didn't think that Fletcher was losing because like I said, just because it was Australia. More so, I thought that they might have Harley lose, but nah, she won, but they beat her up at the end. So, but I didn't think that was gonna lose. Great match. Hopefully this is the end. This is game 7, so I should not see you versus Mark Briscoe in the near future. Please and thank you. But it was good. It was good.
Main event: Brody King, the big bad Brody King, versus
Who,
MJF.
who,
Man, I mean, this match had everything that I wanted, from these two. I, you know, this is my problem with this is why the eliminator is good and why it's bad. The eliminator is
yeah,
good because you get it where you see Brody King gets the win over MJF the week before, so now he gets the match, right? Which is great. You
yeah,
see him get the win, you think, okay, he's beat him once, whatever, we've seen him beat him. Blah. The problem is the idea of having to beat the champ twice in back-to-back situations is so tough. And I get that's why you do it, because he's a champ. He gets that champion advantage, right? You have to beat him twice. You have to
right,
prove that you're good enough to beat him. But it feels like, Brody, and I know that that's how it's supposed to feel. Brody's so close. He beat him the one time it didn't matter, but can't get it done when it
right.
does matter. It's like, you want it so bad. My concern is that my problem with this, and I love all of that feeling of angst and that whole, because I know that's how it's supposed to feel, and it feels great. They hit every mark in that. My problem with it is that I'm concerned that this is the only opportunity Brody King gets. And that's my only concern with that. I hope that this isn't the only shot at the AEW world title that Brody King gets. If it is, it's a shame that he lost and wasn't able to fulfill that. I didn't necessarily think he was going to win, but I was hoping, under the assumption that this is his only opportunity, that maybe Tony Khan might do something a little different here and give him he's been known to do that periodically, give a guy a shot that hasn't, that he feels has deserved it, paid their dues, all those things. So I thought you could do that here with Brody King. It doesn't really surprise me that it didn't happen. If they want to run this back, I'm here for this again. I thought this was really good. I really like their chemistry together. I like
Yeah,
Brody's size versus MJF's kind of in-ring IQ, because you get kind of like not that Brody King isn't a smart wrestler, but you get kind of like the guy that relies on his strength and power versus the guy that relies kind of on his brains and wits and has to kind of figure out how to beat the bigger guy. So as a general rule, I'm not a huge fan of like the big guy versus little guy, but there isn't that big a differential between these two. Like, it's not like Rey
hmm,
Mysterio versus a Big Show. It's not that kind of a situation, right? So even though Brody's substantially bigger, it doesn't have that same feel to it. So I thought this came off really well. I enjoyed all this. I just wish Brody had gotten the win. And I really hope this isn't the end for Brody King as far as getting title opportunities as a singles wrestler. That's my biggest concern, because I think he showed up and showed out. I thought
he
he looked
did.
really good. I thought he looked good enough in this match that him winning wouldn't have been beyond the pale. Like, it's not like, oh my God, they put the belt on Brody King. Like, you know what I mean? At this point, if they had done it, it would
Right.
have been like, oh shit, like he earned this. Like, this match was really good. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, do that, So in that regard, I was a little disappointed, but the main event, it was very solid. MJF retains. We're going to get MJF and Hangman at Revolution, which should be, in itself amazing. So yeah, no, this was fun. What do you think of the main event?
This was good. This was very much so good. Like the we were gonna call it a match, but it wasn't a match between the eliminator between Brody and MJF was like it was so like shocking. We're like, shoot, he might have a chance. And so now I like how they positioned the match where MJF was like, nah, I'm gonna get the big dude. I'm gonna chop down his knee and just keep targeting that sucker the whole match. I love it. And then he brought back, we're in Australia, so he brought back the kangaroo kick. I'm like, that is so At one point in time, it was, but now it's now you talk to people, and you're a dick, and then, but you're the best dick in wrestling history, and it's the best part ever. Like you said, I love they brought back. Yeah, so they brought back the spot where he gets choked out, and then the what's his finisher called? It's a, like it's Brody, like the freaking, it's called something bomb, where it's like basically it's not a pile driver, like a pie driver bomb.
Right, yeah, I forget the name
Basically,
of it, but yeah.
but yeah, him having ended up on his the same
Oh, the
finisher as
Gonzo bomb. Yeah, yeah,
Dynamite,
yeah, the Gonzo bomb.
the Gonzo bomb, and like he gets like you got choked out. How you get out of that, bro? I'm just like you could have left that out, bro. I don't know, but that is me. I love that Bandito came out, and he like I love the friendship. Like you said, after this, like let's not go back to them being. They're both good single competitors. Let's explore that just a little bit further before bringing them back together. That's just me. But side note, okay, this is a nitpick. It's a nitpick. I'm going to confess a nitpick. But Bandito won the Dynamite Ring Tournament. So how did MJF still have this ring? Before you say, well, it's an old ring. No, because when he was going against Bandito, he was trying to get it back from Bandito. So it's an old ring. So I need, as a person who likes English, English is my favorite subject. I need consistency in storylines. He can't. You're gonna have to give him another weapon in his draw. It can't be the ring. He did. He didn't say Benzita for the ring. It ain't his ring, so he can't use the ring no more. Or someone help me make it make sense. But yeah, I'm with you. I hope after this they still hold. I think Brody's still holding high regard, but in wrestling, I hope it isn't he isn't far away from the main event scene. I definitely hope that for him. And then we find out that yeah, we're the main character versus the biggest heel. I'm not sure what they call it, but yeah, MJF versus Hangman at Revolution. It is a marquee match. It is a marquee match. I think they need to put a little more wood on the fire to get it burning as bright as it was the first time. But I fully believe they can do that. But this was a great match. Yes, it was.
Let's see. So that was the end of the show. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Was there anything else that you thought was super important or crucial to mention? I think that was basically it. That was the four
That was
matches.
it.
Um, I mean, I think all that's left to really do is just kind of give it a grade. I mean, I for me personally, this was better than Collision from the week earlier and from Dynamite. I gave Dynamite a B. I'm gonna give this. Ooh, this is like a B plus or A minus. I know no titles changed hands, but I really enjoyed every single match. I think this is a B plus for me. So this was the best show of the week for me. So I'm giving this one a B plus. I give Dynamite a B, and I gave whatchamacallit a C plus. The Collision from the week before, if I'm not mistaken. I think right. So what are you
Yeah.
giving this? What are you giving AEW Grand Slam?
I'm giving this a B. I'm not. I gave Dynamite a B plus. I'm giving this a B. No, I think just like
E is in
like
boy.
the
I thought you said
shock.
E is a dog.
No, B as a boy. Yes, B as a boy. It was great wrestling. It was great matches. But there were no. But Dynamite had the shock value of oh shoot, we crowned two new champions, and this nobody, no, nothing happened. This was just great matches, but nothing happened. It was like shit. It was a couple of things were just like come on, pull the trigger. More so, Hangman versus Andrade. It was just like pull the trigger. I think that's probably the more so just like come on. So for that, I just give it a solid B. Uh, so is
So we don't
anyone
have a
still in
tie.
the chat?
So we don't have a
Yeah.
tiebreaker, so we get Anika's favorite wrestling finish, and we get a draw.
No, we don't. No, we do not. If you're in the chat, if y'all are still with us, tell us who won. No.
Yeah.
Give me a
If you're with
minute.
us in the chat, if you're on Twitch, if you're in the chat, or if you're watching on YouTube, chime in. Let us know who you think had the better show, Dynamite, Dynamite, or AEW Grand Slam, or the Collision from the week before. You can get whichever show you thought was the best show of the week. We'll give you guys a couple minutes to chime in. I'll do some housekeeping while we give you guys some time to
Yes.
chime in, since that does bring us to the end of our review of all three shows, technically. Um, so make sure and join us every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, where we all come together and talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling. Come for the wrestling and stay for the chaos. On Friday nights, you get, usually it seems like now more often than not, Anika alone, but sometimes Sammy Joe will join her and watch SmackDown starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. She watches the show in real time, gives you her real time reactions and responses and opinions to the show as it's going on. You get a lot of viewers. That is much watch YouTube TV. So come join Anika every Friday night for Friday Night Fights. So you are with us here for the Winner's Circle. Normally we are on Saturday mornings, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. I am trying to talk Anika into maybe switching to Sunday nights at this time, so maybe we'll try one more and see how it works. In the meantime, we'll keep you guys updated as to when Winner's Circle will be on. It'll either be on Saturday morning or Sunday evening. But always join us as we review Collision and Dynamite from the days before, give each show a grade, and declare a winner. Right now, we're at a bit of a stalemate because Anika and I have graded shows. We're in a tie essentially at the moment. I had Grand Slam a little higher than Dynamite. She had Dynamite higher than Grand Slam. So we do need a tiebreaker. If anyone is here and you haven't already chimed in, if you have, great. If you haven't, chime in and let us know who you think got the win.
Just give
Let's
us a
see. You
minute.
can check us out on all these social media platforms. If you want to scan this horsey QR code, that will take you to Linktree. From Linktree, you can get to all of our social media from one place, or you can go to these social media platforms on your own and interact with us over there. We love to hear from you and interact with you guys. And last but not least, if you want to hear the audio version of the cookout, you can catch it on these podcast platforms. Um, if you don't have time to sit and watch the cookout, or you just want to listen to a replay while you're out driving around doing your chores, whatever you want to do, you can catch our Golden Vocal Cords audio only on these podcast platforms. So let's see. Do we have anybody in the chat? Nope.
Just
Unfortunately,
give us
nobody is trying to. Go ahead. What you got? You got someone in Discord that's with
1
us?
minute.
What you got?
I sent some stories out. Just give us 1 minute, and if not, no, we're not doing a draw yet. I forbid it.
If not, it'll have to be a draw.
Yes.
Much to Anika's.
No. I asked Nicky Boy, and Nicky Boy said Dynamite.
Oh, come on now.
He said Dynamite. You can see it.
Come
He
on
said
now.
Dynamite. Dynamite was
Nicky
better
Boy.
than Grand Slam.
Boo.
So thank you. Dynamite was better this
Boo.
week.
All right. Thank you, Nicky Boy, for breaking the tie. We appreciate it. One of our subscribers and one of the Workhorse family. Adjacent, you don't see him on the camera, but he is a member of the family. We love the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson, Nicky Boy. So he decided that Anika was right and agreed with Anika that Dynamite was better than Grand Slam. So Miss
Yes.
Anika and Dynamite from Wednesday get the win on Winner's Circle this weekend. And Miss Anika, I love it. Pretty good. Only on Workhorse Wrestling Network will you catch stuff like that. So, Miss Anika gets the win, I guess. She's taking credit for getting the win. Technically, I don't know if it's a win, but whatever the case may
It's
be.
my show.
Dynamite gets the win. We'll give Anika the win too. So, thank you all for joining us as always. If you're new to the Workhorse Wrestling Network YouTube channel, Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on this video. It helps a lot. Hit that bell to be notified, so every time we put something up, you'll get it. I know, bear with us. We do have a lot of shows sometimes that get missed. Sometimes life is hit or miss, so do bear with us. But when we're here, we do appreciate each and every one of you joining us when we are here. So I guess without further ado, we will, as our great producer in the back Dolores likes to say, we'll cut out the lights. And until next time, peace.
Bye.
The bell, that's the call.